Okay, welcome to Practical Problem Solving and Programming, and this is lesson 4 where we're looking at loops as a whole. So what we did in lesson, we watched the trailer of the Groundhog Day film, and in Groundhog Day, Murray, the character played by Bill Murray, is caught in a time loop. And he can exit the time loop, and I think towards the end of the film he has to meet a certain number of conditions, and once those conditions are met, then he exits the loop. Okay, so continue on from that. We've got the learning objectives, and in the lesson we looked at the learning objectives, which were to explore the weird way in which loops exist and discuss the way in which loops work, and then create a series of loops using Python, and we're going to document our discoveries. Okay, so loops and repetition. So in Python and other programming constructs or languages, loops are very important. They let the program repeat part of the code until a certain condition is met. So here I've got a GIF that has been looped or cut at a perfect position, so it loops perfectly. We did a mini activity, so working with either yourself or with a partner. We had a look at this code in Python. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause this the video. I'm just going to open up Python, and we're going to have a look at this code and see how it works. Okay, so we're going to run that code. So if I type in 4, we're going to say x in the range of 0 to 5. Now, what I'm typing here, we've got a for loop, and the idea with the for loop, we're looking at a variable x. Now, x is a variable that we have to create when we're creating a for loop, and it becomes like a counter, so it's going to count a certain number of numbers. The word range is an inbuilt function in Python. It allows you to run a range of numbers within numbers that you assign it. Now we've assigned 0 and 5, so what's going to happen is it's going to run a range, and it will store the first number in x, do the loop or do the program, and then it will add. It will go to the next number, 1, until it reaches 5, and then it will exit the loop, exit the for loop. Okay, so let's have a look and see what happens. So print. So in theory, what we're looking at is wherever I type in here now, which is the word hello, it should display the word hello 5 times, which it does. Okay, so now we know what this program actually does. In lesson, given the task to write a program that prints out I like Ellie Goulding 10 times. So if you pause the video and have a go at that in Python and see if you can get Python to print out I like Ellie Goulding 10 times. I mean, you don't have to write Ellie Goulding, you can just write Justin Bieber for those of you Bieber fans. Right, so looping through an array. Now, last lesson we looked at arrays. We looked at what arrays are in the terms of where you have a variable, and within the variable you have many different indexes. So we've got an array here which is called first names, and in here we've got 4 items or 4 indexes. We've got Taiba, we've got Usman, Tisha, and Amana. Here we have a for loop where we have for each name from the first names do this, so it will send the name to display. We have the end for loop because we need to end the for loop in pseudocode. So in pseudocode we need to have the end for loop. We've got for loops. They do come in handy when working with arrays and lists. The following algorithm uses a for loop, and each loop is used to iterate through the array via the first names through the index. Okay, so it will go through index, index 0, 1, 2, 3. So just remember that your first index is actually 0, and it will output the names in turn. So this is what this program will do. So we're having a look at another example here. We've got animals, which is an array. We've got there was a mistake there because we forgot the speech marks, and it won't work. We've got 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 indexes, 0, 1, 2, 3 to 4 indexes, and here the program will print out the name of the animals and it will complete the program until it has finished all the indexes, and all the indexes are displayed. Have a go at activities 13.2.3 and 13.2.4. So we've got the first one where we copy the program, explain the purpose of name variables, write a program that creates a list of things that you would take to a desert island, and then display each item line by line, and then rearrange the program statements to write a program that will print out the names of the animals that begin with the character C. So have a look on that. So that's quite a nice one actually. So if you can just pause the video, and I'm going to go through 13.2.4 and how to do that. Okay, so 13.2.4. So what we've got to do, we've got to put these in order, and we've got to get it to find the character, the words starting with the letter C. So we're going to have a go at that, and we're going to put it into Python. Just open up the GUI of that GUI, and what we're going to do is we're going to type in. We're going to put in my list first, and I'll just copy and paste this. So it's easy, otherwise you're just going to be sitting there watching me write a big list down. Okay. Next thing I would do is I would say for next. So the next command, what it's doing is it's searching through the indexes. So it goes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to look through the lists, and it will go from one index to the other. So we're going to say next in my list. Okay. We'll make sure that the variables are correct. It should say if next 0. So what we want it to do, so in each index we want it to search the first letter. Okay, so this is what we're doing now. So we're going to say in each index we want to search the first letter, and we want that to be equal to C, i.e. the letter C. Okay, and once it's met that, we'll say print next. So this is quite an important aspect of this programming section, because we're going to use something similar to this in our task 2, where we're looking for names, and we're looking for names within the array. So after this, what I want to do is I want to print every time. So it'll print every time that condition is true. So every time that condition is true, it will print. Otherwise, it will go to the next one. It will go to the next one until it exits the loop. So in Python, you don't actually need an endif statement, because it will exit the loop itself. Okay. So if I press enter, nothing's happening. If I press enter again, execute the code. Yeah. Okay. So let's double check that. So we've got cat, cow, and canary. So it's missed out rabbit, donkey, and dog. So they're not in the list. So it's printed out all the index positions where the words start with the letter C. Okay, so we're going to have a look at this program now. Here we have another Python program where we use the for loop. So we've got a table, and in the table we've got an integer, so we've declared the integer, and we've got an input. So the user will input what times table they would like to see, and the for loop would take the number and put it within a range of 1 to 21. The user, whatever number they input, for example, if they input 5, it would show a times table for the number 5. It would show the times table. So what I'll do is I'll open up Python. We can have a look at this code in action as well. Okay, so I've opened up Python and I've started writing down the code. So we've got the integer, so we're declaring whatever number goes, whatever number the user inputs, it's going to be stored as a data type, as an integer data type. I've just shortened the sentence there just to say what times table. So we've got for loop. So we've got for number in the range of 1 to 21. The next command is the print command, and then we say number, so that's the variable that we're looking at. We want to do number times the table, so whatever the integer is in the table, and that should give us this program. So if I press save and I'll run this in the Python shell, and it didn't run. Let's try that again. Click on the right one this time. So run it in the Python shell. So what times table? So we say let's say 8. Press enter, and it should give us all the 8 times tables. So we've got 8 times 1 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 8 times 14 is 112, etc. So that's what this code does. So that's what it does. So I've shown you there in terms of how it works. What I need you to do is we're going to have a go at 13.2.1, 2.4, and 2.3 and sorry, 2.3 and 2.4. Okay, so I've already gone through the answers of 2.4. So have a look at 2.1 and 2.2 and 2.3, and I'll give you the solutions as a Word document, and you can have a look and see how you got on with those.